This is your daily market recap for Thursday, December 22nd, 2022.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. Feeling like the Undertaker, resurrected, back to life. Bulls get back over 380 on the close. I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so, kind of. Keep in mind, people who typically give feedback at extremes were very aggressive today, talking whether it's junk or whatever. I mean, they have opinions, and it's funny. Like a lot of these supposedly friends, whatever, people who want to pretend they're friends, they don't ever say, "Hey, the market's dumping at the highs." They always kind of rub it in if you're wrong at the extremes and lows, which that's part of the game. Now, again, talking about how things are going to work out going forward, I don't think anything's changed. This is all predicated on what? Omnibus being delayed, potentially closing, and then going. And I said this, if you did not watch the recap live chat I did earlier today, check out the Discord room. No, check out the YouTube channel. Did a live today. Here you go. Just talking about all this stuff and literally called a lot of things at the lows. Was not surprised because what did we see this morning? And we talk about the Discord room. The Omnibus headline, I think it read, was that they were going to figure it out this afternoon, right? Yeah, imminent. It was one of those things where they were going to get something into what I thought would be the close. So what was the lunchtime was the bottom? Was that luck? Just a guess? No. Let's start from the beginning of why. Why we're bullish. Seasonality, right? Santa Claus rally, new money, new year, new money, 401ks, IRAs, people pumping it in. Market makers know that, right? Happens every year. Trading for 20 years. Do you want to guess how many times the budget has been kicked the can down the road? They started in October and they don't finish it till literally the last week of the year. And then that last week of the year, what happens? It turns into extra volatility, maybe from OPEX, whatever. Now again, keep on, I am not long-term bullish. I'm expecting the market to blow off to go lower in time. Remember, GDP came out today, 3.2% for Q3. Does it matter? No, not really. But point being is that the market is getting comfortable, as you can tell, with holding up and sucking people in. That's what it seems likely to me. Again, I like to think like the market makers. Most people like to think about what they think is best. Personally, for me, everyone's calling for a recession next year. If I want to trap people into holding into a next leg down, the best way to trap everybody would be to what? Rally the damn market like we talked about. Now it's in a tight trading range, which I'm sorry to say, it just is what it is. Now the market is volatile. It's hard to predict during weeks like this. Keep in mind, this is like worse than ChopX is holiday weeks with uncertainty. Because typically you just kind of rise and float up. Weeks like today, like this week, they're hard because guess there's not a lot of participants. Easy to manipulate the price action. We talk about that over and over and over. If you're not familiar with this, study the damn past. Trying to give you guys all the insights we can. A lot of people, again, I don't know why they feel like they need to. Again, you can attack me for being wrong. I don't care. But attacking people, and again, it's not even attacking, it's like trolling because you don't know what the hell I am talking about. That is your problem. Now, again, if you want to act like a pestilent child, like and then these people, again, that says more about them. Because I will give everybody, especially my friend here, someone on the Discord room, we were talking yesterday, Gallagher, I'm like, congrats on your shorts, man. Like, I want everybody to win. I expected a pullback, hence taking a little bit of profit yesterday. Was hoping the lows would be in this morning around 380. Well, guess what? 374.77. Who would have known? Some people said 374 last week that we could get down there. Well, you got your wish. Hopefully you acted. Sorry to rant, but it's like, again, I want people to realize, like, nobody here is an enemy of this channel or me. Again, I don't have hate for anybody. I want everyone to succeed, even the people who are talking junk. I'm telling you, sometimes you learn the most from the things that show up in your life. Like, you ever had something happen to you and it seems like it happens over and over and it's like, man, I had the worst luck? You either learn that you're bringing that into your life to attract something greater and be better, or you're doomed to repeat those issues. And I think a lot of people will learn that they're repeating the same issues by the way that they act and how they emotionally get charged by the market and what it does to them mentally. So let's see if we can be the Undertaker and, man, rise up. Well, I guess it's not going to show. So, again, follow on Twitter. If you have questions, posted about it all day today. I mean, again, there we go. Yeah, coming on up. I don't care what everyone else says. I'm doing things based on what I've seen. Now, that's why people sometimes struggle is they're looking for the science. The art of this is what I've mastered. Sometimes I don't know the level. Sometimes I don't know timing. I don't know expect things to happen perfectly. But that's why I've changed my style to fit my personality. I'm usually early, so it doesn't mean I go all in. People who want to go all in, be mechanical, big, or nothing, I'm telling you, that's just hard. It's hard to be right all the time. Check out the channel for all of the lovely videos on education. Some of y'all could use this stuff, I swear to God. I mean, I talked about VPA VPA mattering at volume at price. Intraday action doesn't mean a lot until certain times, and we'll talk about that because you're going to see that when we get to Tesla, because it might be in the capitulation stays. Bitcoin, did I call it Bitcoin? Bitcoin, sorry. Did not mean that. Just said it 3 times. Bitcoin. Holding. Nothing really to say. It just flatlines. It's tough to know. Nat gas. A lot of people like UNG making new lows. I'm just telling you right now, UNG deteriorates. It's a piece of crap. So you better be right about this action before you even think twice about UNG, y'all. We broke below these levels. Seems like 5 is coming. If the market can't, if nat gas can't rally when it's literally colder than, like, hell's freezing over right now in some places in the country, global warming, like extreme, global chilling, cooling, gosh, climate change, whatever it is, whatever the government's trying to use to market the end of the world, that the weather changes and it gets cold. And if nobody's buying freaking natural gas right now when it's cold, I don't know what to tell you. Watch, I'm going to get a DM. So I'm like, oh, you're a climate change denier or whatever, global warming. No, wrong. I believe that you need to go green, but I just don't see the government providing the great ways of doing it. People think that they're going to somehow tax our way to prosperity, and it's like, no. Let the free market do what it's got to do. Again, that's a whole other topic, but keep in mind, I like to make fun of it because, again, when it's fear-based, the world's not ending. Climate is changing all the time. It sucks. A lot of people on this planet. What's the best thing to do? It's probably not good to burn endless amounts of gas and oil. I'll agree with that. So, what's the solution? We don't really have one until you get one, and too bad the powers that be like to pit us against each other, so we don't really have a solution. And that's why I talk about what I'm talking about, and as I'm looking at gas, because I look at it and go, if it's going to get cold, stay cold, and this holds, great. If not, the caps in Europe, are they working? I don't know. Like I said, I'll get someone DM and be like, oh, you're not a green, you're not true, you don't like the environment. No, I love the environment. I love fishing. I love being outside. I just don't think I can control what everyone's going to do. And trying to control what everyone's going to do is difficult when the biggest polluters don't listen. China, India, certain parts of the world. We're doing our damn part. Let's just all agree on that. I was reading something about how Canada is going to reduce their emissions by a certain amount, and it wouldn't have taken a dent off from what China would do in a year if they did it for 20 years, something crazy. Sorry to rant on that, but that's just sad. China ain't doing what we need them to do in this case with this stuff. Oil, so think about it. People keep talking about peak oil. Other than water, it's the most abundant liquid asset in the world. Abundant. There's a lot of it. Now, it gets harder and harder to find. And so here comes the conundrum that I always continue to have. What's the upside? People saying 250, 300, 400. Well, that means something's going to have to go really wrong with currencies. Price action, though. Again, I don't know why I'm in the philosophical mood. I feel like I've been preaching all day. Please, temperance, no ego, be thoughtful, think of everyone else. And again, I'm talking about the environment. Some people think I'm probably talking negatively to them, but I'm just talking about in general. Got to understand everybody. This doji... Remember, the Feds to get tight, rates need to go higher. Oil needs to go higher. I'm sorry, not rates, oil. I'm looking at it trying to determine. This doji in this spot is really freaking confusing because it's equal wicks. I'm just going to revert back to, again, I'm going to give Sonny credit for this every time because he was the one who told me I was wrong. I thought he was wrong. I was ultimately wrong. There's probably going to be choppiness. Just like you saw in Nat Gas, you've seen previous videos. Is this the bottom? Man, that would be awesome for bulls. But I think, again, you could probably then snack into XOP, and we'll talk about that because that got really close to our levels. Let's get into the market, right? This is hard. Oil and gas. I mean, if you own these at the bottom, I think you're okay. If you are chasing, this is where it gets hard. Like, I don't trust it. Does that make sense? I hope so. I mean, it's kind of like trying to be thoughtful of everybody where it comes to these conversations we've been having, like a side noting as I'm just generically talking about oil and gas. Like, you got to be thoughtful of everything. Probability based. Assume certain things. Know that certain things just don't happen and don't work. That's the same kind of thing. Like, chasing oil and gas has been punitive. Now, is the bottom end? It feels like it should be. The dollar. Dollar. Probably going to lose 5 subscribers on this. Don't care. These rants. 20-day. 8-day. Talked about this being a novice gap bottom, but ultimately, what have we said? If the dollar is just holding, chopping, not really that big a deal. Could this be the bottom? That's what I've said. I mean, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that was potentially the bottom, right? So, we'll see. I mean, just I look at this and I go, be careful. That's all I can really say. Like, be careful, because at this point, it gets over the 8-day, but I don't really think this is the thing to watch. I mean, I'm like sitting here like struggling, like, what's the best way to put this? I mean, look what the dollar did last year, right? It went into this like death cycle, and then it went. So, death cycle meaning like just knocking people around, chopping people around. And so that's the thing. If the dollar is doing what it's going to do, please just don't overthink it. TLT. This is hard again. I mean, people are like, oh, you want the easy answer. Well, sometimes the answers are much easier than they are, and they're not. What have we said? This multi-day range above the 0.382, watch it. Again, I was watching this today. I was like, if the market's going to dump, and this is what the bears want, deflation, everything that they're like praying for, then the bond market should be rallying like a mother. It should be going ham higher. TLT was down 2 cents. Again, things that didn't make sense that I'm watching that put me at ease of like, I think just got, again, options that I have for anything, not until mid-January. Stock that I have, down on some stuff, stopped out, some stuff, closed yesterday, added back today. Like, I am comfortable with my risk through the PCE. We'll see. Maybe second mouse gets the cheddar, or is it going to be another gap up? That's the question. The VIX, look what happened. Hits the 50-day today. Look at that. Close. And again, we watched it. It's like, it's just like, I mean, not to be disgusting, but it's like, chubby be losing its luster. Like someone slammed the door, someone distracted you, and you lost all vigor. And that's what the VIX did. I mean, it just looked like a pop. And we've said this: chop, 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 chop. SPY, if you were a bear, you're losing your mind because you couldn't even close below. Not even close below. Look at that action. Now, a lot of this has to do, I feel like, with some of the tech names in Tesla. But look at this. I just don't know what to say. That's not need more information day. That's kind of what this looks like. And we talked about this. I think this was the last time was the CPI or PCE, whatever, one of those two, rally back. Now they're expecting it to be lower month over month. This is tough. But if I'm a bear, I'm confused. And if I'm a bull, I'm looking at going, chop top, chop bottom. Do we have to play both sides of the range? Could we go into like perpetual wide choppiness? I mean, again, we haven't seen that part of this phase. People don't expect that because they have never seen it. Like, that's part of sometimes coming off the bottom or dead cat bouncing is playing this game. And you're seeing it with a lot of, like, say, Netflix and Meta and all these names, or Adobe. Like, they just got caught in this big chop cycle after they moved down big. And that's what I think is going to happen here. New money's coming. New money is coming. If you don't believe it, then you're just not listening. I don't care anymore. I've given up on your your well-being, because if you don't want to double check this, then don't. I was talking about Qs today. I was like watching this action, like, keep an eye on that, because if it holds there, it wouldn't be too bad. Oh, back to the SPY. Check this out on the 10-minute. If you were watching the live chat earlier, we were saying, like, watch this doji here, and then said if it could close over 376, it's going to rally. There you go. And I know a few folks who took that trade. High five to you. High five. Nice work. All right. The IWM. Talked about this today, too, as it was retesting the lows. Just watch it. I mean, I did it all in the live recap if you want to see what I was talking about, but just said watch. If it holds, it should be good. Look at that. Hammer. MC hammer time. Oh. MC hammer. Oh, take that. No, I was thinking of P. Diddy. Take that, take that, take that. Too legit to quit. No, I mean, that's a nice pump back. So we'll need more information. If you're a bear, you better have taken profits. This is like yesterday. If you were a bull, you took some profits, right? We'll see. Now you're right back. I mean, this looks... Look at this. Looks closer. I mean, it's literally right dead smack in the middle. Bears celebrating. Bears, bulls scared. Who wins tomorrow? Good question. Gold. Talked about this, not liking it, just not shorting it. Said, gaps down, holds the 200-day. Moving right along. Silver. Talked about it, gapped up, made new highs, and then it gaps down. Oh, you missed the mid-December pullback. All right, fine. Leave it alone. We'll see what happens. I just don't trust it. GDX. This action doesn't look that bad. It just stuck. I don't think people know what stuck means. They're just like, market has to go up, has to go down. No, it can be stuck. Waterlogged. Stuck going nowhere fast. GDXJ, same thing. Pulls back, chops in the zone. Things. Remember, miners would not be rising if the market wasn't moving higher. Remember, these miners don't move well up with the market if the market's dumping. Very rarely do you see that happen, right? It's a part of the market. Hopefully that helps. At this point, just move right along. AG, we talked about this, like not trusting gold and silver, because look at the action. The stock is down here, silver's up here. Holds the 100-day. Maybe it's due to rally. Maybe it plays catch up. You like catch up with fries. Chopping. AEM doesn't look bad, doesn't look great. Newmont, I saw this thing was down like a point earlier. Holding the 20-day. Again, if the market's about to roll over, this stuff gets beaten too, y'all. You can go sloppy choppy, and maybe that's what it's going to do. Talk about here, going nowhere fast. There you go. Pass. Pass on the grass, y'all. Don't need it. Lower highs, flagging out. I don't know, whatever flag you want to call this. I'm going to say it's my pride flag because it has lots of rainbow colors. I don't know. I'm prideful that if it breaks over, it should go higher with volume. If it breaks below it, it can go right back to the lows. That's what I'm proud of. AM Dizzle. Wow. Semis all over. Look at this. Gets the bottom of the range. Zinc closes right back there. I mean, I'm like repeating myself, and people are like, oh, you get worked up. No, it's like, dude, I get so like excited to see like this action over and over and over, and it confirms like trap, 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 trap. As soon as you think it's over, look at it. Gets down, closes the, gets into this gap, because through the gap is actually down here, but the open was right here. Boink, rallies back, closes right above it. NVIDIA. I mean, I saw these people calling the end of the world in NVIDIA. It just hit the 150-day cross in the 50 and range lows. Doink. Now, again, that's not the greatest close, but I wouldn't put it past it to see either a retest or watch what happens here. Watch what happens. That's pretty quick, pretty fast, right? 187 down to 147.48. Yeah. MU, here you go. Should be down huge on its crappy earnings. Look at the damn candle. The Doge at the low with volume. You need more information. If semis are going to crack, that shouldn't be doging there. It should be just goo. Goodbye. SMH, here you go. Hits the bottom of the range. Draw this stuff and leave it for a reason. Then it closes back right under the gap. We'll see. Not great. Not great at all, but not like needs more information. Adobe, here you go. This is what I'm talking about, like chop cycle. Nothing. Nothing. Like the Super Mario just walking through the world. After you take a big move down, right? This is what I'm expecting in the market. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we play this game where you just get like this chop action, At the lows, everyone freaks out. At the highs, but the last high should be the confirmation of some great bull market that ain't happening. Oh, sorry, Adobe. Doesn't look that bad, does it? Look at the last couple days. Market make new lows. Adobe's 10 points off of it. There you go. Apple, fruit. What did we say this morning? Watch the 130 level. Look what it did. Another wick. Back above. Wiki now. Now, again, I'm not bullish long-term on Apple, but I wouldn't be surprised if it rallies. Amazon. Trash. Pretty trashy. Let's talk about what it is. It's a dog. Rough, got fleas. I don't know. Leave it alone. I mean, I don't see anything maybe other than the close. I say there's a little bit of volume, but nothing crazy. Just some names, you leave them alone. Move on. .org. CRM, holding the channel lows. Doesn't look terrible. Things that you don't see if the market's about to roll over. Guggenheim, nice wiki. Comes back, closes right back at the lows from what feels like forever. Tuesday. Meta, here you go. Choppy, sloppy pattern. Shoot, chop. But again, not rolling over. I'm telling you, what is going on here if you're not paying attention? Holding, chopping, sideways pattern. Microsoft. Look at that. Gets right down to the range. 233. Yep, 87. Holy crap. Pretty good. Pretty good. Hoping it rallies. Jay Solstice looking at you, friend. NDAQ. Again, if the market was going to roll over, that candle ain't saying roll over, doggy. Just be on red alert. MicroStrategy. Again, rally 6 points. Looks like it's dead. Remember we talked about the 160 area. What was the low today? 160.92. Might get another test. Good guess. Your guess is as good as mine. Doesn't look that bad. Netflix. Here's another one. Down. Finishes down 21 damn cents. 21 cents. Did I say 21 cents? 21 cents. I really wanted to see Netflix come back down. It didn't. Things that aren't bearish. Roblox. Look at this little son of a biscuit. All over the place. Again, still holding in here tight. Now a lot of people are like, oh, it's game over. Yeah, could be. But look, it closes back above the lows. This could be a trap, y'all, and it could just rip right face back. Tesla, let's get into this one because... All right. See the volume. Yeah, see how they run. Let me pull up Tesla's hourly chart. You know what I'm singing. Say something. Here we talk about capitulation. Look at that. 3 candles. Boom. Red. Peaks out. Longer wick. And then it just tightens up. Now, again, I'm not saying Tesla's going back to 190, 250. Just near term. Capitulation. Lady Madonna. Yeah, there you go. This is probably capitulatory. We'll see. Now, I'm not saying, and I recommended this. Selling calls on the TSLQ out of the money. If you want to buy stock on Tesla, I get it, but be careful buying calls down here because it could get choppy, and when it starts rising, the IV could come in because this is, I guess it's not really that steep. I mean, I'm talking about like a 30 or 40%. Well, I guess now it's percentage-wise. Yeah, the IV is probably slightly elevated. Keep that in mind. Be careful buying calls. Letter X. Look at this candle. Look at that wick. Things that don't look that bearish, right? Does it? I don't know. Yeah. That's a funny candle. It doesn't look bearish though. Like look at Nucor, finished down 54 cents. Things that shouldn't happen. Look, it hits 100, 200 days. Someone's whining about, not whining, but oh, I missed it. Well, here you go. This is the thing where you're talking about taking profits. You get like these backups and you can just rip them right back in. I don't usually talk about Cliff, but it's on my list. And I was like, what the hell is this thing doing? It's like, whoa, things that aren't bearish. Close at the high of the day. Coal. VALE, 5 cents down. Things that aren't bearish, right? Tight action. Arrow. Chopping. Holding. Looks okay. I mean, it got back into the channel, but we'll see. I mean, it's, again, you would think it'd be down $1, 50 cents. CCJ was down $1 at one point. Holding tight. Doesn't look terrible. Cliff. Or CF. You silly bastard. Okay. This one always has long wicks and acts kind of crazy. Pretty normal. Comes back below the range lows Anyone see the close? Yeah, the volume came in. It looked like some buyers. I mean, considering like today should be a light volume day, looking pretty high. And I'm not talking about how high people are going to be over the holidays from all of their Christmas gifts and their eggnogs. No, look at this. We'll see. Keep an eye. Like, it's very, very tricky sometimes, CF. I mean, if you're like, oh, it's not tricky, like you haven't traded. Look at these wicks it'll do. You know, wick and the doof, right? Wick and then, I mean, look at that. 111 to 95. I mean, this thing can move puntos quickly. Keep an eye on it. Stop out if needed. Mosaic. Man, this thing was down in the 43s. Look at it. Boink. Bounce right back. Hence why holding on to CF, not really that concerned. NTR, we got down into a range. Could have bought that today. Remember said 71, 72. Would we get 71, 77? Boom. AA. Somebody was hitting me up about, hey, you still hold, what are you doing with it? I'm like, my alarm hasn't hit. But here you go. Congrats if you bought it because you knew the zones. Look at that. 42, 41.90, whatever. Closes at 42. No, 43.85, down $1. Things that aren't like terribly bearish. XLF or XBI finishes up. Ha! That's what I remember. Someone, Hamilton was like, watch it. It was holding tight. Look at that. Closes up. Doesn't look that bad. XLF financials. Another wick and hammer. Look at that. Comes right back. I don't know. You want to be bearish? I mean, there's people like, you are stupid if you're shorting. I'm like, no. Like, you should be shorting. That's what they tell me. I'm like, no, I don't think I should. Like, this is closer to the bottoms than and looking to rise than up, down moves. We'll see. I could be wrong. Morgan Stanley drops below it, pops back. We'll be shorting on pops. That's what people don't understand. Like, I don't, again, when I feel like the easy money's taken, you go, girl. JP Morgan here, boom, below the 50-day rallies right back. It's things that aren't bearish. And these same people will come and say tomorrow when the market is, again, I won't hear from them for like 3 weeks. But as soon as the market's down one day, then I'm an idiot. Again, please continue the feedback. I need this. I need the blind spots that you guys are offering me because your insights or what mine were when I was losing 20 in a row because I would be so emotional, just an idiot, total mess. But you could like bet on me losing every time. I'm telling you, that's going to happen to you. All right, TAN fills the gap, closes. Could be better. ENPH. Maybe it's, again, because gas and oil weren't acting that great. Here you go. Chopping. Man, this like people just can't wrap their head around chop. You go. 20-day. And see why we trade around positions sometimes. Like, we don't know for sure. Like, someone hit me up and was like, hey, I lost a decent amount of money, but I learned a lot. And I'm like, okay. Well, let's not lose a decent amount of money, but let's be smart. Like, start programming yourself chop and trading around positions. Like, if you're all in all the time, I'm telling you, like, that this market's just not really rewarding that. It's like it's been trendless. It's been uptrend then sideways for like weeks. For solar, same thing. Like, imagine if you were expecting to get rich off of this and it's just trading. If you traded it, good. If not, 20-day curling down. We'll see. HYG was hoping to see, for bear's sake, this take out the lows and hits the 50-day rallies again. Does that look terrible? No. Oil. 64.65. I'd take a look at this. At one point it was down here. I'm like, closes right back in yesterday's range. Let's get out of here. Bearish. No, I don't know. UNG deteriorates. Please be careful. Please be careful. Please be careful. Here you go. This thing deteriorates. Trash. But here's your range lows. Buena suerte. I wish you all the luck in the world if you trade this. I have no desire. XOP, someone's hit me about this when it was 129 during the recap, and I was like, yeah, I hope it hits my alarms. I bless. Blessing. Like, I think it's a good buy if you got it down here. As a retest, I don't know, but this is setting up potentially to pop. It feels like it. I mean, all this stuff is subjective. ExxonMobil, let's run through the oil and be done. We talked about this thing should be down here if the market's dumping. Look, holding up. Occidental Petroleum makes a new low, closes back over it again. Traps. This is like market. If you're watched this far, this market is feeling out weakness and it's taking advantage of both sides. And I'm telling you, you can get manipulated. I've been manipulated. We all have. You will be. You can't not be at times. EU2, piece of crap. Not surprised. PXD. Someone was talking about it. They were like, when are you gonna buy it? I'm like, I got my alarm on the 203, but look at this. Holds the multi-day range. Closes a couple points off. Doesn't look terrible. Again, please reflect on these things. And the reason why I love to talk about the people who come after, because again, I will never chase anyone down to prove anyone I'm right or wrong. Like, I find my own happiness through what I do, and that's ego driven and demolished, trying to get rid of it. Like, you need to be comfortable with yourself and how you do things and ignore all the outside voices. Because for someone like myself, the critics never end. But for you, there might be the mental critics in your own head. You're not sure, having fear of what's going to happen. Like, you got to be so thoughtful of your own mind and like watch it and observe it and take notes and go, all right, at the lows, I can't act. I'm paralyzed. Where Dan's saying, well, here, look at the levels. Watch what happens. If you see the confirmation, you see the left-right combo, someone's talking on the 30 minutes. Like, yep, well done. It works. And then when you're wrong, here's the difference between people who can act and can't. The people who can act know what to do when they're wrong. The people who don't act don't know what to do when they're wrong. Like, they're just feared because they're like, I don't know what to do. Now, again, if you decided you didn't want to do anything today, I mean, that's part of it too. The PCs tomorrow, if you didn't feel comfortable at did not get the lows, I get you. Maybe it could still go lower. I don't know. But you have to play in your mind all the probability scenarios out, potential scenarios. Hope this helps. Man, like you said, I mean, I'm just amazed sometimes. 95% of traders fail, yet 95% of the people that hit me up think they're going to win. Just telling you, it's not how it works. All right, talk to you later.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.